trade relations between Malaysia and China are among the most dynamic in Asia. This trade relation is a collaboration that has been established for a long time and has grown rapidly over the past few decades. Since the administration of the former second Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Abdul Razak, the trade relation between Malaysia and China has a long history, but the formal trade agreement that is often referred to in a recent discussion is the Malaysian-China Free Trade Agreement (MCFTA). This agreement is a part of the broader Asian-China Free Trade Agreement (ACFTA), which Malaysia joined as a member of Association of the Southeast Asian Nations. The ACFTA was signed in November 2002 and came into effect in July 2005, and the MCFTA was signed in 2009 and implemented in 2010. The primary purpose of the Malaysian-China Trade Agreement is to promote and facilitate trade and investment between the two countries. By reducing tariff and other trade barriers, the agreement aims to enhance economic cooperation, increase bilateral trade volume, and create a more favorable environment for business in both countries. Since the implementation of the MCFTA, bilateral trade between Malaysia and China has seen substantial growth. Both countries have continued to strengthen the economic tie, exploring new areas of cooperation such as technology, digital.
Next, I will present about international economics indicator. This is referred to a statistical measure used to assess and analyze the economic performance and health of countries in relation to each other's and the global economy. China, as the world's second largest economy, has grown rapidly through industrialization, export-oriented manufacturing, and strategic infrastructure development. Instead, Malaysia has leveraged its strategy, location, diverse economy, and strong manufacturing and service sector to foster robust. For the first indicator is the GDP growth rate. Both Malaysia and China have shown impressive GDP growth rates, albeit with different trajectories and drivers. China, as the world's second largest economy, has experienced rapid growth driven by industrialization, infrastructure development, and export-oriented manufacturing. Malaysia has focused on the second indicator. Next indicator is inflation rates, monetary stability. China's CPI was lower than Malaysia. Malaysia's inflation rate has been rising due to increase in price of food, housing, health, transport, and restaurant, whilst inflation has also accelerated. Both countries has experienced low inflation in recent months. Malaysia's inflation rate has been higher than China based on the latest available data. For the international trade and trade openness, the trade relationship between Malaysia and China has grown rapidly in recent decades, with both countries benefiting from increased economic integration and complementary trade flows. Malaysia faced the challenge of upgrading its export structure to higher value-added products to remain competitive against China manufacturing prowess. Last, for the international indicator is foreign direct investment (FDI) and FTAs. The MCFTA has eliminated tariff on over 19% of trade goods between the two countries. China has become an important source of FDI for Malaysia, particularly in the manufacturing sector. The bilateral FTA and Malaysia participation in RCEP also depends economic integration between the two countries, though geopolitical tensions remain a key challenge. So, Malaysia and China are expected to have a constant increase in economic and trade activities while continuously improving their strategic partners. This is because China investment can potentially contribute to Malaysia's structural transformation goals, such as reindustrialization and greening of its economy.
Okay, next trade barrier consists of
price advantage to local product and achieve goals like protecting domestic industry and generating revenue, as well as non-tariff barriers such as import quota, licensing requirement, and product standard, which increase costs for forest company entering local market and serve policy goals, including public health, environment, and national security. The history of Malaysia-China economic ties spans several eras. In the pre-modern era, restrictive policies like the Carton system limited maritime trade between the two regions. After Malaysia gained independence in 1957, the country implemented non-tariff barriers such as import license. The 1970s saw reform in China that boosted economic cooperation between the two nations. By the 1990s, Malaysia had become a major trade partner for China in Southeast Asia. A significant milestone was reached in 2012 with the Malaysia-China Free Trade Agreement, or MCFTA, which aimed to remove both tariff and non-tariff barriers, further strengthening economic ties between the two countries. Tariff and non-tariff barriers have complete impact on trade, with potential benefits such as protecting domestic industry, boosting local product and achieving policy goals, but also drawback including higher consumer price, impeded competition and innovation, and potential discouragement of foreign investment. Ultimately require careful consideration of their overall economic effects. Next, the trade agreement frameworks between ASEAN and China include ACFTA, which removed over 90% of tariff on traded goods in 2010, and RCEP implemented in 2021, which further reduced tariff and harmonized rules and standards. While both sides maintain same tariff in sensitive sector and non-tariff measures for policy priorities like food security and public health. Next, the trade relationship between Malaysia and China has evolved significantly, with pre-agreement barriers such as high tariff 9.7% on Chinese import in 2009, strict import license, and protective measures for sectors like agriculture and automotive being reduced post-agreement to an average 3.5% tariff by 2019. Though non-tariff measures persist, including import quota on agriculture product, technical standard issue, and concern about China export subsidy, while efforts are underway to streamline regulation under RCEP. Next, balancing economic integration and policy priorities involve leveraging and the benefit of liberalization, such as increased competition, efficiency gains, and consumer welfare, while retaining policy space for critical areas like public health, environment, and national security, and carefully calibrating the approach to leverage integration benefit while addressing legitimate concerns.
Trading patterns include broad themes in various aspects macroeconomics like related exports and growth, such as effect tariff and policy trade, as well as a mechanism for solving dispute trade. Malaysia sees the status of China's position as friends trading the largest in Malaysia is important thing for protected. This is because if the country is in power, be in aspect economies, this go out in any war or more conflicts recently, especially in the South China Sea region. Malaysia is one of the former ASEAN member countries established relationship diplomatic with China since ASEAN was established, as well as opening a new era in China-Malaysia relations, like through relationship trade. Free Industrial Zone FIZ is especially for issuing business goods for exports. Based on list goods export by China to Malaysia for Malaysia-China bilateral relations, the protected item is fuel and the petroleum oil. This is because they have very high demand by local people. Reducing tariff on goods sensitive is as much as 20% on 1 January 2012 and as much as 0% until 5% in 2018. For list item on the sensitive list, which is high HSL, will deducted to 50% without commitment subtraction tariff furthermore. Mechanism for solving problem dispute is by joint agreement trade international, such as the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement (AFTA) and World Trade Organization (WTO). Before trade agreement between China and Malaysia, Malaysia has set strict trade against imported agricultural products and food from China. The concept of competitiveness and complementary in agricultural product trade between countries had become an exciting topic of global discussion. Then, after trade agreement between Malaysia and China, Malaysia started trade with China, which export category is higher than import, which is RM11.5K than RM10.7K respectively. This show a good improvement after following the AFTA with other Asian countries. The rising trade has made China a significant trading partner for Malaysia.
Service trade patterns. The patterns of trade refers to the nature of trade between two countries and how this change over time. These patterns often mirror shift in a country's economic structure, technological advancement, government policies, and emerging trade theories or agreements. In the context of China and Malaysia, the service trade patterns reveal areas of imbalance like tourism and banking. Sectors facing regulatory challenge, issues with professional qualifications recognitions, and the impact of cultural and linguistic differences on service delivery. These patterns also highlight the potential for growth and the need for strategic cooperation to optimize the benefits of service trade between the two countries. Service trade patterns between China and Malaysia from the point of view. Number one is tourism sector imbalance. China sends a much larger number of tourists to Malaysia than vice versa. This benefits Malaysia economically but also creates the risk of overdependence on one source's market. Number two is dominance of Chinese banking. Chinese banks have succeeded in penetrating the Malaysian market more aggressively than the ability of Malaysian banks in China. This raises concerns about foreign dominance in the local financial sector. Number three is rules of producer. Differences in standards and regulations, especially in the financial and professional service sector, support companies to operate in other countries. This involves difference in risk management, capital requirements, and financial reporting standards. Four is qualification recognition issues. The lack of mutual recognition for professional qualifications limit the movement of workers between the two countries, especially in the field of law, medicine, and engineering. Number five is language and culture challenge. Language differences and cultural norms are barriers in sectors that require direct interaction with customers, such as tourists and professional service. Number six is positive impacts. Despite the challenge, this trade has contributed to economic development, improved workforce skill, and better cultural understanding between the two countries. And the last is future strategy. To address this challenge, both countries need to focus on regulatory harmonization, increase rigor in business procedures, joint skill development programs, and cooperation in technological innovations. In conclusion, this pattern shows that despite the imbalance and challenge, trade service between China and Malaysia have great potential for growth and mutual benefits. With the right strategy and close cooperation, the two countries can optimize their service trade relations, enhance economic growth, and broader cooperations.
Next, I would like to present on international factors motivation. International motivation investor provision protection and dispute mechanism under RCEP. In the investment provision are meticulously designed to facilitate and safeguard investments among member countries, thereby creating a stable and predictable investment climate. The agreement aims to reduce risks associated with cross-border investments and enhance investor confidence Key investment provisions under RCEP include national treatment, most favored nation treatment, fair and equitable treatment, expropriatable and compensation, transfer of funds. Protection offered to investors. RCEP offers several robust protections to investors to ensure a secure and conducive environment for foreign investments. These protections are fundamental to fostering investor confidence and encouraging the flow of investments into member countries. The 3 points highlighted in these protections is legal stability and predictability. By establishing clear and transparent legal frameworks, RCEP ensures that investors have a predictable and stable legal environment. This reduces the risk associated with changing laws and regulations, which can significantly impact investment returns. Next, the protection against unfair treatment. The fair and equitable treatment clause protects investors from unfair practices, ensuring that their investments are not subject to arbitrary or discriminatory actions by host governments. This protection is vital in maintaining trust and reliability in the investment climate. Next, an unrestricted transfer of funds. The freedom to transfer investment-related funds without undue restrictions ensure that investors can retrieve their earnings and manage their financial resources efficiently. This protection enhances the effectiveness of RCEP members' countries of investment destination. The mechanisms for resolving investment disputes. Investor-state dispute settlements. The ISDS mechanism under RCEP allows investors to initiate arbitration against host states if they believe their rights under the agreement have been violated. This provides a neutral and impartial platform for resolving disputes, which is essential for maintaining investors' confidence. Arbitration procedures. RCEP outlines detailed arbitration procedures, including the selection of arbitrators, the conduct of proceedings, and the enforcement of arbitral award. These procedures are designed to ensure transparency, fairness, and efficiency in the resolution of disputes. The implications and opportunities. Enhanced investment flows. The comprehensive protection and dispute resolution mechanisms under RCEP are likely to enhance investment flows into member countries. Investors are more likely to invest in a region where their rights are safeguarded and they have access to reliable dispute resolution avenues. Economic integrations and growth. By promoting stable and predictable investment climates, RCEP facilitates the deeper economic integration among member countries. This integration can lead to increased economic activity, job creation, and overall economic growth benefiting all member states.
The balance of payments summarizes the flow of resources between China and trading partners. This is a crucial economic statistic for open economy to participate in international trade. Current account demonstrate fluctuating and surplus trend during the selected time period. The positive balance implies that they export more than import. Based on the table above, the current account demonstrates fluctuating and surplus trend during the selected time period. The positive balance implies that export more than import. For example, the current account for 2022 is $401,850 million, when the good balance at USD $668,632. The surplus balance and primary income show the deficit. The figures show the merchandise trade balance of China. China's surplus with US in 2023 was approximately $823.2 million, a marginal decrease from the year before. international economic linkage. First, about China is the world's largest exporter of goods. For example, about electronic, textile, machinery, and clothing. Second, China is the top destination for inbound FDI. This is due to the pull factor in the manufacturing, real estate, and technology sector. Third, China also import various products, especially raw material, for example, iron and crude oil. Likewise, with intermediate good and high technology product from its bigger trading partners such as South Korea. Last, China also joining the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (RCEP), which can enhance trade and investment linkage with Japan, Asia, and New Zealand. Trend before and after the agreement implementation. First, China faced the imbalance of payment, which is Malaysia experienced a consistent trade surplus with China by exporting raw material and intermediate goods such as low to mid-tier electronic and petroleum. Second, China also faces strict capital control, which a limited amount of capital that can come out into the China economy. Third, China has to face trade barriers which are higher tariff and non-tariff barriers. During the pre-2010, the China received low income and transfer. Next, limited investment flow where China investment in Malaysia are experiencing difficulty because of investment are focused only the traditional sector like manufacturing and primary industry. After the agreement, China may increase their trade volume by doing more diversified products to export. China also tend to increase their income and transfer. This is due to the higher return on Malaysian investment in Malaysia and vice versa. Liberalization lead to an increase in cross-border financial transactions. For example, FDI resulted in a significant growth in Chinese FDI to Malaysia. This is because the large-scale infrastructure project and strategic investment in technology and real estate.
Okay, next, comparative advantage. Related comparative advantage (RCA) is based on the Ricardian trade theory. The theory states that the pattern of the trade between countries is governed by their relative difference in productivity. Although such productivity difference are difficult to observe, RCA metric can be easily calculated using trade data to reveal such difference. Also, the metric can be used to provide a general indication and a first estimate of a country's export competitive strength. It should be noted that nation measure used that affect competitive such as tariff, non-tariff measure, subsidies, and other are not taken into account in the RCA metric. According to Seung 2007 study, the comparative advantage of developing countries in selected service for the period 1998 until 2003, such as business service, finance, transport, and travel in relation to valid comparative advantage of Malaysia and China before the agreement implementation. Since 2000, Malaysia export performance has been seen has declined. The main cause of this decline is the declining global electronic industry and the rise of China's economy as well declined. To improve export performance, Malaysia participated in multilateral relation and bilateral trade liberalization. Malaysia manufacturing export competitive can be improved by studying the pattern of the related comparative advantage. Malaysia export strength has also gradually changed from non-resource-based to resource-based manufacturing export. The market factor of Malaysian economy is well oriented is the government policy that support and a large local business community willing to do business with international companies has made Malaysia highly competitive manufacturing and export base due to supportive government policy. The very competitive advantage of Malaysia and China after the agreement and implementation depended on both for economic well-being and security. China has been the leading foreign direct investor in Malaysia since 2016, overtaking traditional investors. Perhaps the most famous example of China foreign direct investment (FDI) in Malaysia, really in automotive industry, as the owner of 49.9% of Proton. But the country has its own comparative advantage in exporting agricultural products. According to the study, China and Malaysia have comparative advantage in exporting agricultural commodities. The situation of China comparative disadvantage is agriculture. Trade with Malaysia might be due to the direction of industrialization in China.
Next, winner and loser. Winner and loser can be determined by who will be affected by change in trade. For example, how much and for how long trade will depend on each economic structure, physical infrastructure, and institutions. There is a lot of empirical literature in which they try to identify the relationship between firm and trade and the conditions under which firms are more likely to be winners. Firms that function as exports will tend to be largest and likely to be more efficient source running from export market and international knowledge, spillover debtors from import, high quality intermediate, economies of scale, high level of investment, or from increased competition in export market. The Milton Institute Global Opportunities Index 2022 has made Malaysia the most attractive investment destination for foreign investors among Southeast Asian economies. This is said to be so because Malaysia's trade performance in 2021 for the first time recorded an excellent achievement for more than 2 trillion with total export worth 1.24 trillion. This makes the country's total export target as outlined in the 12 that Malaysia can amount to 1.25 trillion by 2025, and this has been successfully achieved 4 years yearly. Malaysia needs to continue to strengthen the trade agreement with China. This is said because, according to the head of the World Bank's Asia and Pacific Economic Aditya Mehta Talent, said that international agreement can help countries like Malaysia benefit from being a hub instead of being a member of the exclusive trading bloc. With this, Malaysia cannot destroy the trade agreement with China. Winners. The situation in the trade agreement between China and Malaysia show that Malaysia benefits more from China trade. Win is Malaysia win and China loses. This one can be proven with the party Prime Minister Federal Yusuf said that Malaysia has benefited greatly from the rapid growth of the Chinese economy over the past few decades. In addition, the two countries have cooperated well in areas such as the digital sector, e-commerce, renewable energy, and pollution control. In that way, China's success in creating poverty in their country, and it is the his this method can be used as an inspiration for Malaysia to use as example. Next, they are devising appropriate policy to reduce poverty in our country. This inspiration comes from the effective approach made by China. User, according to the mirror, they said that China has become Malaysia's largest trading partner since 2009. With this, China will become the main economic driver in this region. Malaysia needs to avoid getting catch up in the thing of the bloc while taking the opportunity to attract investment and carry out technology cooperation with China. China has maintained its position as Malaysia's largest trading partner for 5 consecutive years and has been a major source of investment for Malaysia over the year. With this, market demand for China will be an important force in driving Malaysia export growth in 2024.
In conclusion, Malaysia and China have over 15 years of economic relationship. The trade agreement between Malaysia and China was established in 2010 as a significant impact on international economic indicators. This trade achieved sustainable economic development through improving human capital, enhancing technological capabilities, and ensuring a stable investment climate. First, in the international indicator, striking a balance between the possible advantages of more expensive FTA commitments and domestic political constraints. And second, preventing developing nations from receiving special and differential treatment and ensuring they can actually participate in and profit from free trade agreements. Third is ex-post examination of FTAs is crucial but difficult overall. To accurately determine the true economic impact of an FTA, policymaker needs to resolve methodological concerns and conduct a true analysis of many metrics. Second is trade barriers. First challenge is removing limits and taxes on the trade of goods. FTA often gradually remove tariffs. However, they often have lengthy transaction period or don't cover some products. Quotas are frequently increased or decreased as well. Second is lowering non-tariff obstacles like standards, confirms, assessment processes, and technical requirements. FTA are designed to facilitate commerce by fostering regulatory cooperation, harmonization, and mutual recognition. The third challenge is addressing trade remedies such as countervailing and anti-dumping levies. FTAs may provide procedures for resolving disputes or restrict their use. Third is goods trade pattern. First challenge is ATIGA has been effective in reducing tariff and increasing intra-Asian trade. However, challenges remain in eliminating non-tariff barriers and ensuring developing countries can meaningfully participate. The WTO system has successfully resolved many disputes, but faced criticism of overreach and implementation issues. To improve, ATIGA could accelerate tariff elimination, strengthen non-tariff barrier commitments, and provide more targeted assistance to developing countries. The WTO could clarify the scope of its agreements, improve transparency, and enhance special and differential treatment for developing countries. Fourth, service trade patterns. Challenges relate to evaluating the impact of free trade agreements (FTAs) on service trade include measuring service trade patterns, and second is assessing trade creation and diversion, and third is accounting for individuality. And fifth is international factor movement. The challenges related to international factor movement in free trade agreements include: first is measuring factor flows. Is accurately measuring international labor migration and capital flow is challenging due to lack of detailed data. And second is assessing economic impacts, that is qualitatively assessing the economic impact of factor movements such as trade creation, trade deviation, and welfare effect is complex. Quantitative indicators like changes in factor return can help but require careful analysis. Moreover, challenges related to the balance of payment, imbalance between countries' current accounts, such as large US current account deficit and China's surplus in 2022. Second, difficulty in accurate measuring capital account transactions, leading to statistically discrepancies in balance of payment data. Then the need for countries to pursue contractionary policies to address deficits, which can impart a deflationary bias to the global economy. Next, comparative advantage. To analyze the challenges related to comparative advantage and calculate the relevant comparative advantages for country involved in trade agreement is identify the commodities in which each country has a strong RCA more than one and compare them before and after agreement. This will reveal if the agreement has helped countries specialists in their area of comparative advantage. The second is examine if the commodity with high RCA are included in the trade agreement. If not, the agreement may not be fully leveraging the country comparative advantages. Lastly, find winner and loser from trade agreements as well as potential area for improvement for winners. Medium-sized and diversified companies. Studies show that medium-sized and more diversified companies tend to benefit the most from trade agreements as they are able to capitalize on new market opportunity. For loser, American companies and consumer, the research results indicate that the cost of tariff from the US-China trade war have been largely borne by American companies and consumer, with estimates of over $40 billion in cost so far. Second is farmers and manufacturers. Farmers and manufacturers is US face significant pain from retaliatory tariff leading to bankruptcies and job losses. In summary, while trade agreement carry overall economic benefit, the search results highlight the importance of ensuring these gains are more evenly distributed and that the needs of displaced workers and affected industry are adequately addressed. Thank you. That's all for me.